Hi everyone, I am Jennifer Brown, the director of Baca Wines, and I am so excited to be here again hosting one of our live videos. It's been a little while. I am on maternity leave right now, and so it's just such a pleasure to be back here hosting another Instagram Live. We have an awesome show here today. We're going to have Girard from the show Dance Mom, who I'm sure you know. And we're going to talk about being moms. We've got 2 wines that we're going to talk about here today. We've got our Bleachers Zinfandel, which is a new release. And then we also have our Tug of War, which is our 3rd vintage of this one. So we'll have so much fun. And then we're also going to ask her any questions that I have and you guys have. Before I bring her on, I'll just say real quick that all of our tasting rooms are open. We've been affected in California, as you know, by not only COVID, but also the fires. But we're very lucky that we've been able to reopen and see guests. We do require reservations at our properties, but you can always call same day, and we would love to host you and your family and friends. In particular, our Walt Baca Healdsburg property is waiting for you guys to come visit us. And we also have a special right now where you can order 3 bottles on any of our websites, Baca, Walt, or Hall, and you can do it for $1 shipping. So I encourage everyone, if you like the wines here today, you can order them at home or any other wines that you want to have. So I'm going to bring Kira on now, and we've got so much fun stuff to talk about. Let's see. I'm going to bring Kira on. There she is. Let's see. Sending you to Kira. I'll see you in just a second. And oh, there you are. Hi, Kira.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. What are you up to today?
Oh, today's been a lot. Today's like the first day that I've actually been able to do some sort of work with the kids home for the past 6 months or going on 6 months. So I had so much to do. It was insane. And then I lost track of time. And now it's already the afternoon.
It's funny how that happens, right? When you're busy and when you're a mom, time just goes by so fast.
Oh, it disappears.
Yeah, forget about having a moment for yourself.
Yeah, that's non-existent nowadays.
Well, I think you need a glass of wine. I need a glass of wine. It's been a long day.
Yes.
So I'm going to pass you one through the magic of the internet. This is our Baca Bleachers Zinfandel from Dry Creek County. So I'm going to pass it down to you. Did you get it? Oh, you got it. Yay. Perfect. So pour yourself a glass and we'll cheers.
All right.
I don't know about you, but I feel like 4 o'clock is a perfect time to have a glass of wine.
Every day.
Well, cheers, Kira. It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Cheers.
You too. Well, I do have a few questions. So we do a little thing when we have guests on our Instagram where we do rapid fire questions. So I've got a handful for you. And really just say whatever comes to your mind. They're not supposed to be big, long, philosophical answers. Just whatever you think. Okay? Are you game?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. What did you have to drink with dinner last night?
I think water. Boring.
Ice cubes or no ice cubes?
Ice cubes.
Ice cubes. I also like ice cubes. Well, you live in Arizona, so.
Yes, it's 110 degrees here still.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's so hot. I don't do well in that heat.
No.
Okay, where was the best vacation that you've ever taken?
The British Virgin Islands.
Oh, which one?
We did a catamaran for 7 days and we hit all the islands.
Oh, amazing. I love the BVI. That's so beautiful. What is a book that you're planning on reading next?
Oh, that's a hard one, actually.
I know there's so many good ones.
So I'm obsessed with Rebecca Hollis. So I love all of her stuff.
What has she written?
She's more of an for your she has a podcast, and so she's more about like mind, body, and like
Oh,
focus on that. So I really like reading things like that.
of course. Nice. It's so inspirational, and then you feel better afterwards.
Yes, yes. There's people that are just like me, so I'm normal.
Okay. Show us your favorite TikTok move or dance, if you can do it on screen.
I don't think I can do it on the street. Kalani just taught me this one. Actually, she doesn't teach me them. I actually get them off of her TikTok and then I just copy her.
That's awesome.
So
Awesome.
she did this one that's like,
Oh, I like it. That's on screen? Okay, cool. I actually could really use some instruction. I'm not naturally a very good dancer. Well,
yeah,
or
me neither. I don't know how I had a dancer.
really? You're
I do
wonderful.
not dance.
Really?
No.
Well, how did you decide to get your daughter in dance? Did she show some signs that you thought she'd be a good dancer?
Honestly, like I was super young when I had her.
Mm-hmm.
So everything was like cute, I was just, I knew nothing. It was just cute. So I just kind of took her to a dance class. It was no big deal. It was cute. Well, cute turned into dance moms.
Do you think that she just had this naturally born ability, or do you think that it was because she had the training to make her a good dancer?
Well, no. Okay, both. But here's the thing is like, I'm like super, super crazy. And unless you have like a natural talent that I can see that you're going to go somewhere, I don't really believe in like funding a crazy,
Yeah,
expensive hobby.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it started with her. I mean, we'd go to the grocery store, she'd be dancing. We'd go everywhere, she'd be dancing. Like, I would just drop her off at dance class and like leave and come back and pick her up. And people would be like, no, you really need to see and watch her. She's like crazy good. She does everything right. So then I would stay and watch her and be like, well, I don't know anything about dance. I guess it looks good, whatever.
Right. You have nothing to compare it to.
Her interest was there. I even say this, I have a 12-year-old too, and I even say this, oh my God, the things that Kalani was doing at age 12 and the things that he's doing, completely different. Two different kids, completely. She had drive, focus. You didn't have to tell her anything. My 12-year-old, you have to tell him everything. So
yeah,
from there, it just skyrocketed. And, her teachers would tell her to do something, and she'd just pick it up. It was crazy.
Oh, wow. Well, I was going to say she's so lucky, but you're both so lucky. You to have her as a daughter and her to have that ability. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Okay. When you were a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
What did I want to be? Oh, I wanted to be an orthodontist.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
What was the story behind that? How did you decide to be an orthodontist?
My mom's worked in the dental field for, ever since I was young. So like 40 some years, she's worked in the dental, forever. She's worked in the dental field. And so I was always around it. And I thought it was I never had to get braces, but I always wanted them.
Uh-huh.
So I made them put these like plastic braces on me. And I'm like, this is so cool. You can make people look, smile, be beautiful, and teeth be perfect. And then I found out how many years of school you had to go to.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of work to be an orthodontist.
Done.
Right, and be in an office every day. You can't take a day off, really.
Yeah, you do the same thing every day. That's so difficult to me.
So difficult. I agree. But thank you to everyone who has chosen to be an orthodontist to make
thank you.
We're so grateful to all of you guys. All the orthodontists that are watching us right now, obviously.
Yes.
What is the most important advice that you can give your grandchildren? Not that you have grandchildren yet, but when you have grandchildren, what's the most important advice that you can give them?
I guess it'd be like more like really listen to your parents and like embrace what they say because they know what they're talking about. They've already been there, done that.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I like that piece of advice. I'm sure you're really busy planning your wedding right now. What is one of the services that you've recently booked or people that you've booked for your wedding?
You know, okay, so we're really bad at this. Really bad at this.
Don't say you haven't booked anything.
We've been engaged for like 4.5 years, and things just kept coming up. And we were like, we're gonna do it this year. We're doing it this year.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit. And so it's like everything you plan cancels. But it's funny because, believe it or not, like a winery was actually on our list because neither one of us had done it has been to a winery. Like I've been to one in New Zealand of all places.
Wow.
How do you go to your first winery in New Zealand? But so we actually have talked about that because it's beautiful. And like every place that we've looked into, my fiance is like super picky. So he's like, no. And then everything here in Arizona is still like shut down. Nothing's, and no sign of opening.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's so
they
tough.
haven't really been like, oh yeah, you can have, we're like 10 people, can you have 10? So we've kind of put it on complete pause because it's just been a mess.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, if you've waited 4 years, what's waiting one more until things are open? You don't want to do it now, right?
It's so true. Well, just get my kids to school. That's all I ask.
That will be enough for you this year. No, well, two things. One, you have to come out and visit us in Napa or in Sonoma, one of our properties. We would love to host you and come out to our property. We can't host weddings, but we can host everything other than the wedding, like the reception after or the party. We love to host events. My last question for you in this little rapid fire section was going to be, how often do you vacation to Napa Valley? But now I know the answer to that. Not yet. So
I know we have a place. A friend of my fiance's owns a vacation rental somewhere near the wineries. I'm not quite sure, but they invited us up in October. So we're supposed to go next month, but I don't know the date exactly. And I don't even know where it is. I don't even know the area up there, really, to be honest. So I don't know, like, what wineries, if you guys are all next to each other.
Yeah. Well, that's actually, it's funny. I think everyone thinks it's all next to each other, but they're pretty spread out. Napa and Sonoma are in the same general area, but they're two valleys that are, one's west, Sonoma's west for the most part, and Napa is east. And so it's still like an hour drive between the two in most of the parts of it. So they're not right next to each other, but they're definitely doable if you're staying in that area. Yeah. Well, so speaking of wine, I thought we could talk about this first wine that I poured you when we first met a minute ago. And also, for those of you guys who are watching, send me questions. I will ask them to Kira, or if you have questions for me, I will answer those too. So this wine we call Bleachers. It comes from Dry Creek, the Dry Creek Valley, which is a really unique valley in Sonoma County. Just like it sounds, there's a creek that runs through it that tends to be dry. And it's a really special place for Zinfandel. It's also where our tasting room is located. So when you come to visit us in Healdsburg, our tasting room is there, and you can come and try all of our beautiful wines and look out at the gorgeous valley. One of the unique things about that area is it has a lot of old vine vineyards, and just like people, wine gets better with age, and vines get better with age. As they get older, they produce fewer grapes, and so the grapes get more concentrated, and I think it produces a more concentrated flavor in the wine too. So that's this wine. See what you think. But I love this wine. I think it has a lot of blackberry in it and also some black pepper, two things that are really common in Zinfandels, especially from that area.
Now, should your Zinfandels be chilled at all, or no?
No, I mean, I guess it depends. Maybe if you live in 110 degree heat, you might want to chill it a little bit.
So, because that's what I put him in the refrigerator, and I'm like, oh, I don't think you're supposed to chill red.
Well, I should say, first of all, there's no rules with wine. It's whatever you like. That's what you should do. Like, don't let anyone tell you should do anything one way or the other. But I generally only put white wines or rosé in the fridge, and then red wines I drink room temperature. But a lot of people have wine fridges, which you've probably seen, and that's because there is like a perfect temperature for wine, and that's a little bit chilled, but not usually as cold as the refrigerator is. Um, so anyway, but if you like it one temperature or the other, that's the best way to drink it.
I'm just like, it's like really hot. We're over the heat here. And it's only cold here.
I can imagine, yeah. What kind of wine do you like to drink?
You know, honestly, my favorite is Pinot Noir.
Oh, yeah.
I love Pinot Noirs.
Uh-huh.
But I also like I like Rieslings and some Chardonnays. I just always taste a lot of butter.
Yeah, well, there's also that famous wine called Buttered, which I'm sure you've seen, the Chardonnay that's in the grocery stores.
Yes, and believe it or not, I'm not a fan of butter.
Yeah, no. So white wine and most red wines go through a fermentation process called malolactic fermentation. And just like the word lactic, it comes from milk. It gives like a creaminess to the wine, and so a lot of people like that in Chardonnays. And so it can produce a very big buttery flavor, but it's not like fresh butter. It's more like popcorn, like movie theater butter, kind of, is what it's more similar to.
Yes.
But that's not your kind of Chardonnay.
No.
I hear you. I also don't love that kind of Chardonnay. Our Walt brand, which makes Pinot Noirs and Chardonnays, makes beautiful Chardonnays that are not buttery. So you'll have to give those a try.
Yes.
Well, good. Do you like this wine? It's probably a little hot there to drink red wine.
You know, I do. It's going down really smooth.
It's very smooth, right? Yeah, Zinfandel tends to be on the smoother side. It's got a lot of fruit, and this wine packs the punch for sure. But it's not one of those overly drying, super tannic wines. So.
I don't get the dry out of it very much.
Good. Yeah, it's more. It almost has a little bit of juiciness to it, I think.
Yes, I agree. I like it a lot. Now, what's the proper way to like swirl your wine?
Totally. Okay. So there's no like one way, but I like to hold it. Oh gosh, you're going to see my at-home. I wish nail salons were open, at least around here. You're going to see my at-home manicure, I did not do that great of a job, but that's okay.
That's okay. I tried. I bought everything. I bought the drill. I bought everything. I drilled off half my nail because I just kept going.
Oh my goodness! So you're doing gel on your own nails? Is that what you're saying?
I bought the whole setup.
Whoa!
Because I'm like, you know what? I only want to do this once. I don't want them chipping. Yeah. Well, they lasted like 2 days, and they were like peeling off. Like the whole gel thing was peeling off. I'm like, well, I am not a nail tech, and I never will be.
Well, it's good to know what you're good at and what you're not good at, right? So.
I have definitely found that out during quarantine.
Yeah.
Because I also tried rollerblading.
Oh.
Fell so hard that I injured my wrist.
Oh no.
Still, 6 months later, this was at the beginning of quarantine, my wrist is still hurting.
Oh no. Were you wearing those wrist guard things? I'm guessing no. No. Oh, bummer.
I just felt like I was 18 again and I could hop on those rollerblades and take off. That did not happen.
I hope you were having fun while you were doing it. Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Anyway. You were asking me how to, what were you asking me? Oh, you were asking me. Oh, great. Swirl. Okay, I'm going to do that. Let's see. I'm also going to, I feel like sometimes when there's comments on, you can't really see your face. So I just turn those off so everyone could see you a little better. Okay, so I like to hold it by the base, and then you kind of, first of all, you don't want to put too much wine in the glass, otherwise the swirling will create, everything spilling out. But you just kind of do like a little, do you see how it's just kind of going around like that? It also sometimes is easy, you can't see the table here, but this is my phone, like if it was on a table, you can kind of just move it around on the base of the table too, which helps. I do that usually, just keep it on the table. And the reason why you swirl, you didn't ask me this, but I'm offering it anyway. The reason why you swirl is it releases the aromas. And if you didn't swirl, you wouldn't smell very much. But when you swirl it, it interacts with oxygen, and so then it kind of releases the aroma up into the air, and then you put your nose down afterwards, and that helps you actually smell the flavors that are in the wine.
Now, is there a proper wine glass?
There are so many types of wine glasses. So there's a brand called Riedel that makes a bunch of different glasses that are for each different type of wine, and those work fabulously. There's also other types of brands like the Gabrielle glass that makes one wine glass that works for all varietals. They're both great brands. There's lots of other brands. I think the most important thing is that it's clear so you can see the wine. You know, some people really love the trendy, colorful glasses, but in real wine tasting, you want to be able to see what color the wine is, and you wouldn't be able to if it was colored. And you want to make sure there's enough, like basically space on the top for the bouquet, which is what you call the smells of the wine. So those were some tips that I would give.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I have some questions for you. And so does the audience, actually. Let me ask one before I ask my own questions. A bunch of people are asking, hey, Kira, can you follow me? I'll give you those people's names later. But let's see. Would you do another reality show, Kira?
I probably would, but I know too much now.
Yeah.
So it'd be a lot different.
I'm sure. What's the main thing that you do differently?
I mean, very much like voice your opinion. Like block out what people are going to say or think. Just voice your opinion, because I feel like I was very reserved and held back, and others weren't. And like as you get older, you just kind of stop caring about what people really think about you and just be you. And I mean, stick up for what you believe in.
I completely agree with you. I think that's great advice for life. I think if we could all care less what other people thought about us and then just say what we mean, I think we would get so much farther in life.
Yes.
Right?
Because I mean, the craziness that's going on right now, like, has brought out, like, I don't know if we call them this or if everybody calls them this, but like the social media trolls. Like people get on and think they can say and do whatever they want. And I just read these comments and I'm like, who are you? And where are your parents?
Someone told me in school that you should never say anything that you wouldn't want written in a newspaper, you know, but about you, but maybe people don't care about social media the same way, you know.
People will write whatever they want. I'm like, you know what? If my child ever commented on somebody else's post, the rude things some of these children comments, I would be mortified as a parent. Mortified.
Oh, I agree with you. Oh, wait. Okay, I was going to give you the next one, but actually I have some other questions for you that I think people at home would love to know. Can you tell us what a typical day in the life of Girard is?
Well, I wake up at like 5 a.m. every morning.
Whoa.
Because I have to be at the gym by like 5:45.
Okay.
So I do that for about an hour, hour and 15, get home. Then it's like kid time. It's like breakfast, dishes, school, laundry. I mean, and all then it's lunch, cook lunch, clean lunch up. Then it's like afternoon playtime. Then my kids go to jiu-jitsu every day, so I have to take them to that. Then we come back and it's dinner, clean up time, walk the dog. And then by then I am so tired. I go to bed at like 9:30.
Oh, I bet. So it sounds like the only like you time is just the working out in the morning then.
Yeah. Yep. That is it. That is it for right now, especially because with homeschooling, I mean, I have 2 kids at home.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a lot of work. But you know what? I'm sure you guys are closer now than you ever have been, right? So. Oh
my gosh, I feel like this quarantine thing and this whole COVID has like made you see things differently.
What do you?
We took advantage of a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know, like now this is my last year with my little one. You know, he's gonna go to kindergarten next year, so it's like now I get to be home with him that extra year, you know, it's
Yeah.
just us. And Kalani, she moved out last October. However, she's been home so much because of COVID, where she wouldn't have probably come home because she would have been so busy. But because everything in LA is still shut down, she was just here on Monday, you know?
Oh, that's so nice.
So we've really taken advantage of seeing her, you know, longer.
Well, and so nice for your younger sons too to be able to be around her more also, you know?
Oh my gosh, my baby is obsessed with her. He learned to call her on her iPad. Probably the worst thing ever because he'll sit there and call her until she answers. I'm like, you might as well just answer, Connie, because he's not stopping.
Well, you told me earlier when we were talking before we started that she also calls you all the time. So that seems fair. She gets called all the time too.
She's crazy. And these kids, they don't know. You don't call on the phone anymore. You don't text message. You FaceTime. Like,
yeah, what if you don't want someone to see your face, you know?
I mean, everywhere, walking through the grocery store, at Jiu-Jitsu, you know, she's always FaceTiming me. And then if I don't answer, she's like, where are you? It's important. I'm like, well, if it was important, pick up the phone and call.
Yeah, right? I know, there's different levels of importance, for sure.
Yes. Not to a 19-year-old. Everything's important.
Everything's like super important.
Yes.
That's funny. Okay, well, we have one more wine to try. This is our second Zinfandel that we're going to try. This is called Tug of War. And I'm going to pass this also to you through the magic of the internet. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
Okay, here it comes. Yay, you got it. Nice.
Yes.
Well done. Okay, well, pour yourself a glass of this and we'll talk about this wine. So this wine is also from the Old Vine Vineyard. I know I told you earlier, one of the best things about Old Vine Vineyards is that they are more concentrated in the grapes, and so they produce more powerful flavors in the wines, and I think that's true for this wine. In fact, we called it Tug of War because Tug of War is one of the oldest games in the world, and this is one of the oldest vineyards that we work with as well. So cheers to you. Cheers. So to me, this wine is different. So it's interesting, right? These are both Zinfandel, but they taste pretty different.
Really different.
Really different, right? And so this one has more what I call red fruits. So it's a little bit more of the raspberry, strawberry, because it's from a little bit more of a warmer climate. It's from the Russian River. And it just produces a different flavor of fruit, but it still has, I love in Zinfandel, the spice, the jamminess that you get. It'll go great with, people always say Zinfandel goes great with barbecue, but I also always think about Thanksgiving type foods that are really rich in flavor. This goes really well with those kinds of foods too.
Oh wait, that's what I didn't ask you that. So both of them will go with like more richer foods?
Yeah, they both go with really rich foods. So think like, you know, a big steak, kind of like a Cabernet in that sense where they go with bigger foods. But then they also go with great sauces, like barbecue sauce goes really well. I like having it with curry. I'm vegetarian, so I have it with Indian curries and that kind of thing. But it also goes great with foods like sweet potato, other kinds of dishes that have a lot of spice. Because there's a lot of spice in this wine, they pair nicely together.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I can smell the spices.
Right? Yeah. No, I love this one.
I like it.
Favorites. I don't think I mentioned, but Baca means berry in Latin. And one of the reasons why we designed the logo this way is because we wanted to call attention to CA, the California, because Zinfandel is really the California grape. It was first grown in California in the way that we grow it. It is really unique to California. It grows best here than anywhere else in the world. And it's very different depending on what vineyard and what climate it's from. So I love how versatile it is. And yeah, we have a lot of fun with it.
Okay, question. Do you guys actually jump on the grapes?
We have before for fun, but we don't do that normally when we make the grapes. But you can, basically when you jump on grapes, that's a way of pressing the skins together and getting the juice out. But we use more traditional presses in our wineries. But you can, it's really fun to jump on grapes.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, we've done it for parties and stuff like that, we usually don't take our best grapes for that. We take some of our leftover grapes for fun. But you know, when you come out to wine country and have your wedding in wine country, that would be a really fun thing to do before like the brunch or something, like have everyone stomp on the grapes. It's a really fun activity, and especially for kids. They love it.
Yes, I can see that. I just remember seeing it in the movies.
Yeah, or like I Love Lucy. I don't know if you saw that episode.
Yes.
Totally. Okay, we're getting so many questions. I'm gonna take a couple more from people. What? Okay, a lot of people are asking if you would have any more kids, Kira. I know that's a question. Okay. Do you still keep in touch with any of the Dance Mom cast members?
I talk to Jess like at least 2 or 3 times a week.
Oh.
And believe it or not, I talk to Christy all the time. Like I'm really close with Christy.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And the rest of them, like every once in a while will reach out, hi, how are you, you know. But those are the 2 that I talk to like all the time.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. It's nice that you spend so much time on something and you get to stay in touch with them like that.
Oh yeah, it's, you know, nobody knows what we've been through. Like everybody wants to comment and throw in their 2 cents, but nobody truly knows what we've been through.
Oh,
except for us.
Right. Well, you need that camaraderie then. That's great.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, Kira. It's been so much fun. It's been great to taste some wines with you and also talk a little bit about your life. Is there anything that you want to say before you go? Like any last words of wisdom?
Thank you for having me. And I hope everybody stays safe and healthy. And it's almost over. We're all going to make it through this.
Yes, we are almost through there. Well, come visit us, Kira. We would love to host you for around your wedding or anytime. We would love to see you.
Thank you.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was so much fun with Kira. It was great to get a glimpse into her life and to hear about what it was like being a reality TV show star and also what it's like being a mom of 3 and oh my gosh, homeschooling both sons at home. That sounds like so much work. So hats off to you, Kira. It's been a real pleasure to talk to you all here today and to be hosting this video. We hope you guys will come visit us in Healdsburg or at any of our Hall, Walt, and Baca properties. This Friday, my mom's going to be on Facebook hosting a really fun Catherine Hall release party with the Brothers Osborne. So we hope to see you guys soon, and we hope you all stay safe. Bye.